the following. My friends don't want me to mention Kurt's name because of all the recent Nazi stuff and the UN controversy. But I love him, and Maria does too, and so thank you, Kurt. Here's a photo of Arnold Schwarzenegger with Kirk Waldheim in Austria in 1999. Kirk Waldheim was an elite Nazi as well, an officer in the SS. He hunted down American soldiers in Serbia and killed them. An article in '92 in Spy magazine reported on how Arnold liked to give away recordings of Adolf Hitler to friends in California. It also reported on how he loved to give the Sieg Heil salute. Former Mr. Universe Rick Wayne went public and talked about how Arnold loved to call black people the N-word and said they couldn't run or do anything, and how he went on to say that blacks were basically worthless to society. A second champion black bodybuilder, Robbie Robinson, went public. And in his testimony, he talked about a public event in front of thousands of people where Arnold in 1978 began screaming, "Down with the N-words, down with the blacks, subhuman, you people can't run the country." It goes on, but the mainstream media ignores it. Arnold's barbaric treatment of women is legendary, and he's publicly apologized for it. The reason this is so important is it shows a total lack of control. He's a wild man. More important is his love of domination. He loves to degrade underlings. Arnold has never challenged a 2001 Premier magazine article where he reportedly makes unattractive members on set get on their knees and call themselves ugly dogs. He reportedly revels in humiliating people until they cry. Not only is he a man after the elite's own heart, loving to dehumanize, he's totally compromised. If we know about all of these skeletons, imagine how many are still in the closet. In a sit-down interview Arnold gave We magazine, he talked about drug use and sex orgies. The elite just loves that. Total control over their puppet. Then there's all the publicly available gay porn. That's right. In gay porno mags, Arnold's done some spreads. But on top of it, there's the private collections of people like Robert Mapplethorpe, who was a pioneer in hardcore homosexual pornography. One of the biggest problems in Arnold's portfolio of horrors is his admitted use of anabolic steroids. Anabolic steroids, especially heavy use, can permanently change one's psychological makeup. He's also been a poster child for steroid use that has been a ravage on the youth of America. But being a bad role model is nothing compared to the psychological effects that include mania, roid rage, extreme aggression, delusions of grandeur. This is what testosterone and its derivatives cause. It's in the medical handbooks. So let's look at this again. An individual who says he wants to be a dictator, who reportedly hands out recordings of Adolf Hitler's speeches, who openly promotes admitted Nazis like Kirk Waldheim after they're exposed as Nazis and doesn't apologize about it, now wants to be our president. And he's taken a drug that can permanently alter the chemistry of the brain, making you domineering and aggressive and delusional. We're talking about Arnold Alois Schwarzenegger being positioned to be president of the United States, in control of all of our military forces. Think about this compromised individual. In control of our B-2 bombers, our nuclear submarines, our nuclear missiles, our Air Force, our Army, our Navy, everything. You put that together with the police in black uniforms, the ski mask, the Patriot Act. It's a nightmare. And we have the very same elite that tried to bring Hitler to power now pushing Schwarzenegger. It's up to you, America. You better research these facts for yourself and take action to defend our republic from enemies foreign and domestic. In the battle for our liberties and freedoms and our children's future, it's going to be reality, not illusion, that's going to save this country. If we believe the propaganda and the slick packaging, we are going to go into the Fourth Reich of the New World Order. Schwarzenegger and his controllers are counting on you to not take action, to not inform yourself and others, to not stand up against this insane action that they're taking against us, trying to put some foreigner from Austria who says he wants to be a dictator and in control of this country.
And in spite of the attack on our homeland, on our homeland, on our homeland, on our homeland.
Schwarzenegger has the nerve to call America his homeland. By definition, your homeland is the country where you were born. And that country for you, Arnold, is Austria, of the Black Eagle and Lederhosen, where your father was an SS officer, where your mother, when he died, married another top SS officer. That's your homeland. Your homeland is the birthplace of Adolf Hitler, and America will never be your homeland. Your claim of America as your homeland is as false as everything else you do. Then Arnold went into a very revealing diatribe where he talked about the police state in Austria, a police state his father helped set up. The problem is America's turning into that very police state. It's a mirror image.
When I was a boy, the Soviets occupied part of Austria. I saw their tanks in the streets. I saw communism with my own eyes. I remember the fear we had when we had to cross into the Soviet sector. Growing up, we were told, don't look the soldiers in the eye, just look straight ahead. It was common belief that the Soviet soldiers could take a man out of his own car and ship him back to the Soviet Union as slave labor. Now, my family didn't have a car, but one day we were in my uncle's car. It was near dark as we came to the Soviet checkpoint. I was a little boy. I was not an action hero back then. But I remember how scared I was that the soldiers would pull my father or my uncle out of the car and I would never see them again. My family and so many others lived in fear of the Soviet boot.
Well, Arnold, now America imprisons more people than any other country on the face of the earth. And American children grow up in the high-tech police state that your masters have built.